Favorite question I have when I ask people, Caryl, is about influencers. Sometimes they come in a second, sometimes they come over a lifetime. My grandfather, I always say this when I speak. He was from Kiev. My mother was from Kiev. That's also another conversation. But he used to take me on walks in the park. And finally, I asked him, and I'm Jewish too. I said, Zeta, how do you know all these people? And he said, I didn't know any of them. I smiled once at that guy, and he smiled back at me. Then he started talking to me. So I talked to him, and then there was another person, and so on. And I got what I could get as a 5 or 6 year old, but then I really got it as I thought about it more and more. So with that said, can you share with us, I know there's probably a lot, 2 to 3 people that have been influential in your life?
Yeah. First, my mom. My mom has been highly influential. She truly believes that every day is a blessing and that you live life to the fullest and that you use your voice and your power for good. She's lived her life that way and she's instilled that in us.
And she took a bath and put on a dress.
Right, and exactly. And then second, a professor I had in college, his name was Mort, and he was my acting teacher in an acting class. And at the 11th hour, I got asked to step into a lead male role because the male couldn't perform. And I had 48 hours to learn an entire play. And just before I walked on, he said to me, just remember, you don't forget lines. You just don't care to say them. He said, if you just forget a line, he goes, you stand there like, what's wrong? Who's supposed to say something? And nobody will know it's you. And it's the
That's
kind of the
awesome.
earlier version of fake it till you make it, I guess. But I hear his voice every time I get up to a microphone. And it's such a true thing. I loved it. A third influence, there are two others. A third influence was Abe Foxman. He definitely taught me not only about commitment to an issue and a passion and a drive, but he was the kind of leader who knew the name of not only everyone who worked for him, but he knew their spouses' names, their kids' names. If you were having an issue with an ill relative, a death in the family, he was there personally, and really made me understand the importance of relationships and not just work. And I'm greatly appreciative to him for that, And then my very first really big donor, her name is Lucille Cantor. She's going to be 100 years old on April 24th. I'm looking forward to celebrating her birthday with her. She had just a zip and way ahead of her time. And to this day, if I go and I see her, it's still, let's talk about politics. Let's talk about the world. What did you learn this year? What are you excited about? And I definitely an influence on me.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And you know what, it always shows me that we should always remember that we're influencing people ourselves all the time. And we have a choice to do it negatively or positively. And it should be an easy choice, I would think. So thank you so much for sharing those.
Thank you. Great question. I like that question.